So we are here with IQ, who represented North Macedonia at Eurovision in 2018. And I believe we're actually the last band to represent the country under the name former Yugoslavian Republic of Macedonia. So Bojan, Marija, welcome. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, for us, it's always been Macedonia.
I like to think that your performance was so good that Greece finally decided to give up and let you guys have the name.
Got tired.
How do you make the decision of which song to write in what language? Is that more of just an impulsive thing? Is it based on the subject matter itself or the audience you're trying to reach?
I think none of the above.
Okay, amazing.
What actually happens is the way I feel the music, where it wants to go, I follow the lead. I only write music when I have inspiration. I don't just set 6 o'clock, let's do something about it. No, initially it has to be from a place of inspiration.
And Marija, for you, singing in different languages, does it feel different?
No, it's definitely different. And I'm always nervous when I'm singing English because I'm so focused to get it right, because I'm not a native English speaker.
But I have to mention something now that you said that. The last few gigs that we had back in Macedonia, I think both of us were struggling a little bit with singing Macedonian because it hasn't happened in a while. Being now in London for the last couple of years. So now it's a different story, I think.
That's amazing that it would become harder.
I have to admit that it's definitely easier to sing in English because I think the pronunciation is way softer than the Macedonian language.
You should try sometime.
Yeah. I think I'm going to struggle enough with the few Macedonian words that I have to pronounce for this interview. But speaking of that, in talking about the evolution of the band, right? Listening to your work, Ubava felt like a kind of transition point, right? The early phase of the band is very heavy rock, male lead vocals. If we fast forward to Lost and Found, it's much more pop, female lead vocals. And Ubava has kind of a anthemic quality to it that is different from both sounds. Can you talk about how that song came together, the inspiration for it?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest hit so far in terms of the Macedonian audience. It became the anthem for when people get married, and that's the first song, usually. I think the reason behind it is because in the verses, it's very, very straightforward, and it says, like, I like you, but sometimes I cannot stand you.
Right.
That's why people like it, and it's more relatable to them. It's not like everything is 10 out of 10 all the time. It was the first time the band was seen in a more melodic environment rather than just the standard bass, drum, and guitar, loud playing and singing.
Now, can you talk about how you ended up performing Lost and Found at Eurovision? What was the inspiration for the song, and what was the selection process like?
I will start with Trajkovski Festival, Marija. That year, 2015, we won the festival with Ubava. That was the first year that the winner was not going directly to Eurovision. So up until 2014, if we were 1 year before, we would go to Eurovision with that song. And then fast forward 2018, they switched the concept for the first time in many years. They said, now we're going to select a song anonymously, and it's an open competition. And we submitted the song, and it was chosen out of 382 songs.
At some point, Darko Dimitrov came onto that song, as the arranger.
Yeah.
Who, for our Eurovision listeners, has a huge reputation in the contest. Tamara Tedevska's Proud, even this year's Georgian entry, Nitsa Busaladze's Firefighter. And actually, I didn't know this, but he wrote the opening in Belgrade that Marija Sarafovic sang.
Right. In 2008?
In 2008, yeah. So what was that collaboration like?
He is super talented in recognizing what the artist tried to say musically. And to add on that story, he's particularly strong with the Eurovision presence. He's like a shareholder.
Yeah, he's a shareholder.
At this point, I think when we were there, he had songs with other singers as well.
So what was the inspiration for the reggae influence in Lost and Found?
You're standing in the shadows and wondering why you're in the dark.
That was Darko's idea. To be honest, in the beginning, it was not like that. For me, it was straightforward pop leading to dance. But for him, Production-wise, he saw it as a bigger twist when it's more relaxed in the background environment with the reggae, so the lyrics can be ahead. And then when the chorus hits, it's like dance and nothing more.
You were talking about how Lost and Found made it to Eurovision, and you're right that North Macedonia has very much kind of gone back and forth between internal selection and competition. And for IQ, it's kind of like you did both. So how do you think about the differences between a country doing an internal selection versus a televised national final? And do you think one method is better than the other?
I would say like an open competition is where more fair, and we can also see like more artists that present different styles.
And the benefit I would say is that there will always be songs, like I mentioned previously, that they will not win, but for some reason they will find their way. It gives opportunity for somebody who is not established yet to push the music forward.
Can you talk about how you approached the staging of the number and what the rehearsal process was like?
In the beginning, the whole process, it begins like, yeah, this is a musical festival. You present your country, you present your song. As it comes closer to the day, it's more about, actually, this is the Olympics. So the pressure arises, everybody is super focused, because they're burdened with the pressure that they need to achieve something representing a country. Actually, you cannot do it. You still have like 3 minutes to present a song. So you cannot present your whole country. It's only 3 minutes. It's not the song for Eurovision anymore. Now it belongs to the people that watch Eurovision, so they take over at that moment. And that's a relief at that time. Yeah, there, boom. It's yours now.
A lot of artists who have been through Eurovision claim that the most important thing is not the contest itself, but what happens next. So how do you think about Eurovision in terms of the rest of your career?
Well, for us, post-Eurovision, it was amazing because we had a lot of shows internationally.
Eurovision ignited the fire for us to go completely international in terms of career and affinities. So that's the reason we relocated to a bigger metropolis such as London.
You're working more in English, more internationally, but then you, post-Eurovision, did have a set of songs that were written with Robert Bibila, Zavedi Me, Molitva, and Do Tebe.
Do Tebe, yeah. Do Tebe, we recorded the video 5 a.m. in London. And everybody's asking, how come you record a song central London and there's nobody around? And we had a window of opportunity for 40 minutes. I'm not kidding. The moment we were done, there were thousands of people.
Now, On a Flight to Ibiza is such a bop. Can you tell us a bit about how that song came about?
On a flight to Ibiza, cheapest seat on EasyJet.
That's a very interesting story. Yeah, it was on a session with a girl that I worked with to develop her as an artist, because she was literally starting from scratch with no confidence that she could ever deliver anything musically or lyrically. And then on one session, the song came out of nowhere. And Helen, she was like, oh my God, this is so good. Let's do something about it. We called Marija. Marija, you have to come now, immediately.
Just song emergency.
Yeah, emergency. And 50 minutes later, she was here. And then we built it up. She jumped on the verse. And this is how it became the demo of the song. Then we got a few more co-writers. The international team is from all continents. And it's more than 7, 8, maybe 10 people now.
That's incredible. And so also you two are a couple as well as collaborators, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's it like? What's the hardest part about working together, and what are the advantages?
You say the good things, I'll say the bad.
Now I'm going to say my pros and cons, you're going to say your pros and cons. So the cons are, we can get a bit annoying to each other, like after a while, a lot of like things together, doing a lot of hours spending together and stuff like that. But the cons are he can't cheat.
We go to work at the same time, we have the same holiday, so no other colleagues. Everything is recorded.
That's great.
That's the pros, definitely. Because you cannot cheat, but you can always invite some other person in your face now. Look at his face. A lot of fun.
Collaborator.
Yeah.
Collaborator. We call them collaborators. They're on the payroll, of course.
They're on the payroll.
That's amazing.
Do you ever walk into one of those sessions, Maria, and then you look at the lyrics and you have to go, sorry, is that about me?
Yeah.
I need to do the laundry. I'll be back.
Or what's worse, I can even sense that it's for another one. Like, that's definitely not me. I'm not doing it.
You're like, I was never there. Or
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's a song or two. There's a song or two that she refuses to sing the backing vocals, live shows.
Oh.
And she's like not asking me. She's like, I know this song is not for me. Don't you worry, I know everything.
Bojan, Maria, IQ, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. We had such fun.
Thank you. You've been amazing.
All the mysteries of the Euro.